make war not peace. August 17, 2013. This is going to be a difficult subject as it requires a lot of understanding and explaining of the human reality upon Earth at this time and before your time. The Earth has been, from the moment she was to be used as a planet for experiencing and experimenting with lower frequencies, a planet that has been under siege, as you might say. There is and has always been war, as you call it, upon Earth and around the Earth. Atlantis and Lemuria were destroyed through wars. Many great civilizations have been destroyed by wars. Yet war has also been the start of great civilizations. When you read the story about Adam and Eve in the Bible, what do you see and understand? Two people in paradise, and what happens? They get thrown out. Why? Because no two people will ever agree with each other fully at each point in time. You could call this a form of war as well. War is about disagreement, free will, choices, different opinions, and can come from many states of being, as even the ones that are kind and loving beings are in a way in a state or form of war with ones that are considered not to be as kind and loving. At this moment, the ones that are living in countries that are not within a state of physical war are having a feeling of guilt, sadness, emotional disturbance within themselves as they see the countries that are at war. The troops are gathering to use their love and kindness to support the ones that are at war, to send peace and love to others that are at war, hoping they can change the minds of the ones that are at war, and the war, or actually hoping the death that occurs during these wars will end. These troops of people are sending their light energy to influence or hoping to influence the ones that are involved in these wars, no matter on which side of the war they are at the moment. There is a great misunderstanding taking place at times when you see wars like the ones that are playing out right now. These are people who have made the choice to stand up by their own free will to defend their own free will. Sometimes this can and will result in death, and yet they fully and willingly stand up knowing this. This requires a short story to explain it a bit further, as it was relayed to my channel by a small shop owner living in the USA right now, but born in Cambodia. His explanation of how and why the country was taken over through war. The Cambodian people, mostly Hindu religion, converted to Buddhism, a very peaceful religion. A religion that made them not fight when the time came to fight. This resulted in thousands, millions actually being killed, as they had been taught through their religion to be peaceful, stay loving and kind. Just imagine if they would have fought back, would millions still have been killed? There has been war between small groups, large groups, but never has there been no war upon and even around the Earth. Yes, there have been many wars about Earth, who was to be in control, who would be living upon Earth, and this is still an ongoing subject even though many might not know it at this time. Anyone who thinks that any type of war or even just difference of opinion can be eliminated is deluding themselves into a reality that cannot exist upon Earth. It does not even exist around Earth or even further out within your universe. With billions, even more than that, but that many souls present, either upon Earth or any other place, there will always be differences, there will always be some friction, as each of these souls has free will, and each soul will have a different path to follow. The friction is a lot harder to handle within the so-called lower physical energies than the higher frequencies, but it doesn't mean it is not there. Trying to interfere with anyone's free will and free choice is friction as well. Even though your intent is to bring love and peace and kindness, how would you feel if someone would try to interfere with your free will? In fact, you already know the answer, as many of you know it is and has been throughout time. How would you feel if someone tries to interfere by sending their energies into you, whether they have good intentions or not? Many think this is not what they are doing when sending their love and kindness to others, yet it is exactly what you are doing. You are surrounding others with your energy, trying to make them act and think in a way that is more to your way of acting and thinking. No matter how you send your energies, with intent, without intent, just the mere fact you are sending your energy, or even universal energy, or angel energy. The intent is to change the ones that you are sending the energy to. You might say, but it is only love, it is light, it is not a dark energy. Does that make a difference? Trying to influence another person's free will, free choice is interference no matter what energy you send. Another question is, did they ask you to send it? You are following what you call your guidance, but what guidance? The emotional human feelings? Many are being guided by channels sending out messages, asking for prayers, asking to send love and light to certain places. But is this really what is asked of you, or are the messages sometimes a bit too much adjusted to what the human who is channeling is feeling at that moment? Sometimes to get to peace, it requires war, and this is true for the physical as well as the spiritual reality at times. If you really want to help, send a supporting energy to the ones that are now standing up for their free will and free choice, a supporting energy that allows them to follow their own path and inner guidance no matter what it involves, death or life. This requires a different intent, a different energy, an energy that might not feel good to you but might be a strong supporting energy for the ones that are making their choice for free will at this moment. Yes, there have been examples of peaceful protest. Many will use this as an excuse and do not take into account the human nature of where and how other wars are taking place. To ask of the ones that are fighting for free will and free choice to be peaceful would mean a certain death, as the ones they are fighting against will walk over them, just like they walked over the Cambodians and in fact walked over the Atlanteans and Lemurians at that time. Atlantis was a place where peace resided, and they could not fathom the fact that others would not want that peace. It made them vulnerable and in fact destroyed them. Many in Atlantis had closed their eyes for what was really happening around them, and it cost them dearly. We hope this message has given you more understanding of how the human reality, and not just the human reality, but also the spiritual reality, is something to see with truth in your eyes, instead of closing your eyes. From one source to another. The Sphinx Speaks. Channeled by Petra Margolis. www.thesphinxspeaks.org. www.ascendedmasters.org